Hello friends and welcome back to my session. This is Dr. Priya Singh, Assistant Professor, Department of Tourism and Hospitality Management, Jamia Millia Islamia, New Delhi. We have been discussing so much about sustainable tourism in my last session, and we have even discussed about how to deal with the crowd and the crowd management in terms of carrying capacity. So today we have a very related and a relevant topic of visitor management strategies that we will take forward. In this session, we will know about the overview of visitor management strategies. We will know about the importance of visitor management, understanding the visiting behavior, with what sense the visitor visits the destination, carrying capacity and linkage with sustainable tourism, planning and infrastructure, visitor education and interpretation, managing visitor flows, and we will conclude. So to begin with, what is visitor management strategies? It encompasses a set of practices and approaches which aim at planning, organizing and controlling visitor activity at any particular tourist destination. These strategies are designed to optimize visitor experiences while minimizing the negative impact on the environment, the local communities and the cultural assets. Also, the goal of such strategy is to achieve sustainability balance between the influx of tourists and the preservation of the destination's natural, cultural and social integrity. So now what is the importance of visitor management strategies? Why we should think about managing visitors at a particular destination? Number one is in purview of environmental preservation. Effective visitor management strategies help us to protect and conserve the natural resources, ecosystem and biodiversity. By managing the visitor flows, regulating access to sensitive areas, destinations can minimize the impact on the environment and also balance the ecological footprint of tourism. The second is the cultural heritage conservation. Tourist destinations often possesses unique cultural assets such as historical sites, traditional practices and indigenous communities. The visitor management strategies help to safeguard these cultural treasures by promoting respectful behavior, that means not offending anybody's culture, also raising awareness through interpretation and education, and involving the local communities in tourism planning and decision making. That means if a tourist is visiting any destination, he is supposed to celebrate and respect the tradition and custom of that particular destination rather than disrespecting or making the host community offended. The third is enhanced visitor experience. These strategies also help the visitor management to improve the quality of visitor experiences by implementing the crowd control measures, ensuring proper infrastructure and facilities and providing accurate information. Destinations can create enjoyable and meaningful experiences for visitors. If there is a lot of chaos or there is no crowd management or there is no guidelines for managing the visitors, then it would be an inconvenience for all the tourists and nobody would like to visit that particular destination. This in turn will lead to a positive word of mouth, increased visitor satisfaction and also the repeat visits of a tourist. Next is economic sustainability. Tourism is a significant economic drive for many destinations. Effective visitor management strategies help to optimize the economic benefits while mitigating the potential negative impacts. That means there would be less of negative impacts on the optimizing the economy. By distributing tourism revenues to the local businesses, everybody should be benefited out of a tourist activity. Not only the big players but also the local business, the people who are just very minutely involved in any type of a business, all the stakeholders should be benefited, promoting a responsible tourism practices and ensuring This is very important to ensure a fair distribution of economic benefits. Destinations can achieve a long-term economic sustainability. That means it should be benefited in terms of finance and funds for everybody. Not only one person or a single business owner should be benefited out of any tourist activity. Next is social and community well-being. Visitor management strategy take into account the social well-being of local communities by involving communities in the tourism development process, promoting the cultural exchanges. If there is lot of local community involved, there would be exchange of traditions, customs and all the culture that particular community undergo and also participates in. Also, it will address issues like over tourism and displacement of destinations, which can foster the positive relations between tourists and locals, contributing to the community resilience and empowerment. Next is, which is very important, that is safety and security. These visitor management strategies ensure security for the tourist. Managing the visitor flows and implementing appropriate safety measures are very crucial for ensuring the well-being of both the visitors and the local residents. Visitor management strategies include crowd management techniques, how to manage the crowd or the footfall at one particular period of time at a particular destination. What are the emergency preparation plans and safety regulations to minimize the risk and respond effectively to any unforeseen situations. If there is any episodes or any incidences at a particular tourist destination, are we prepared to deal with it? Are we having enough remedial measure to tackle the problem that arises all of sudden? So that is all about the safety and security at that particular destination. Now, before managing or having strategies developed, we need to also understand the visitor behavior, that how does a visitor behaves or what are the different motivations for his behavior. So, visitor behavior plays a very crucial role in shaping the success of any tourist destination. Also, by gaining insights into visitors' motivation, preferences and patterns, destination managers can tailor their strategies to meet visitors' need effectively, and also there would be no sign of complaint because every visitor needs would be met and they would be satisfied with the services that are being provided to them at any destination. So, understanding visitors' behavior or understanding any tourist behavior at first place is of foremost importance. So, how do we do it? What is the importance of understanding the visitor behavior? Why we need to do this? Because if we know a visitor behavior, number one we can do is offer him a tailored experience, that is customized services. Understanding visitor behavior helps the destination offer them the personalized experience or the customized experience that aligns with his own interest. Also related to interest of his demography, motivations or any personal interest. This will lead to a higher visitor satisfaction and positive word of mouth, and in return there would be lot of revisits and visits also will increase in terms of number. The second is, which is very important, is market segmentation. Until and unless we do not know the behavior of a visitor, we cannot segment him as per his need or the demand of the market. So, market segmentation on the basis of visitor behavior, it is analyzed, which enables the destination to segment their markets based on various factors such as age, nationality, interest and travel behaviors. This segmentation helps in developing targeted marketing campaigns. Also, we would be very clear that whom we need to target. Suppose we need to target a particular age group, so we will have a different strategy, we will have a different plan, we will have a different way to pursue them. So, we need to know that the segmentation will help us how do we approach our particular target customers. Also, it will help us to know the marketing campaigns and customized offering to attract any specific visitor segments. Next is, it would also give us a ease or an opportunity to do a very good product development. Visitor behavior insights inform the development of tourism products and services that will cater to visitor preferences. Also, by identifying the emerging trends and evolving the visitor demands, destinations can adapt and also create innovative experiences that align with the visitor expectations. So we will be having a freedom and a leverage to develop a product accordingly as per the customized needs, as per the tailored needs in fact of a visitor. So we will know that okay, this particular tourist wants this, so we will have so many products to be offered, but we would be targeting to the right customers in that case. Also, the other point to be taken into account is resource allocation. Understanding visitor behavior patterns help us to optimize resource allocation within a destination. It enables effective management of the facilities like transportation, infrastructure based on the peak visitation periods and visitor flow analysis and demand fluctuation. So we would be well equipped in advance. Okay, now the season is coming, or now the peak season or high demand time is coming, so we need to be very well versed with how to keep our resources ready, what all preparations we need to do well in advance. So this will also help us to know with the season availability that what preparedness we need to actually keep in mind and how we can be ready to meet the footfalls or meet the visitors' visits. Okay, what are the key aspects of understanding the visitor behavior? There are various key aspects like motivations. Every visitor can have a different motivation, or he can have a different mindset and an ideology of visiting a particular place. So we need to keep in mind various different motivation factors of a tourist while visiting his place. Also, decision making process. There can be n number of decision making processes, and they can be also depending upon what decision a visitor particularly wants to take. So it will be also influenced by so many other factors, because decision comes last. So there would be endless other factors which will regulate his decision of choosing a particular or visiting a particular destination. We would be able to also know how we can segment on the basis of travel preferences. Somebody would be a solo traveler, somebody would be a group traveler, somebody would be an adventure traveler, he want to visit some adventure places. So depending upon what type of travel preferences one has, we need to also know to his need and accordingly cater to it. Also his digital behavior, how well he is approachable on social media, or is the digital marketing effective for such type of a clientele, what is his digital presence, what is the digital presence of our services which we are offering to him. These things are also taken into account. Now there are certain methods to understand the visitor behavior. How can we know what exactly a visitor feels or what he is about to? Why is he behaving in such a particular manner? These can be done through 4 ways. Number 1 is surveys and questionnaire. We can get a survey or a questionnaire filled by a visitor on the basis of certain parameters under which we can be able to know that what is his behavior. We would be able to understand his behavior more deeply. Also, we need to do data analysis, that okay, if he has chosen this and what has been the previous records, what have been the previous data with us. So accordingly, we can manage to analyze the data that is available with us and draw certain patterns or draw some conclusions that okay, what the tourist behavior, what the visitor behavior looks like. Also, we should know the visitors' feedback and reviews. These are very important to regulate any type of strategies, or also to make any type of preparations or even amendments and corrections in the later stage of our services. So visitor feedback and reviews are must. And definitely the market research is always a process that helps us. Even the supplier end knows it, that what to offer, when to offer and whom to offer, only through market research and surveys. Now we will understand what is the linkage between a carrying capacity and sustainable tourism. Okay, sustainable tourism, we all know that sustainable tourism is a tourism which takes into account the future generation also. That means taking some tourist activity with the mindset that we are not going to harm the environment or not going to exploit the resources to such an extent that it becomes unavailable for the future generation. So that is sustainable tourism. So what is the linkage? The carrying capacity analyzes that a critical component of sustainable tourism management. It helps destination understand, also manage visitor volumes to ensure the sustainability of the resources and maintain the quality of visitor experience. That means the carrying capacity is the footfall, or how many people should visit a particular destination at one particular time. So this will help us to know that if we are maintaining the carrying capacity, or if we are in terms following the carrying capacity of that particular destination, then we are definitely offering sustainable services and we are promoting sustainable tourism at that particular destinations. What are the tools and techniques? The environmental impact assessments can help us to know, the visitor flow analysis, the stakeholder consultations and visitor surveys are some of the tools which help us to access the and manage the carrying capacity of a particular destination. Also, there can be some form of adaptive management. The carrying capacity is not fixed, but it can be adjusted through adaptive management, that means through patterns, allowing destination to respond according to the changing visitor patterns, environmental conditions, also the season time and the community needs. So it cannot be one fixed, rather it's very dynamic and depends on other factors, regulating factors as well. Before developing any strategies, we need to know about the planning and infrastructure. The effective planning and infrastructure development are essential components of visitor management strategies. By carefully designing the physical layout of a tourist destination and providing the appropriate facilities, destinations can help to optimize the visitor experience while minimizing the negative impacts. So now let us explore some of the key aspects of planning and infrastructure in visitor management strategies. Number one is zoning and site design. The zoning means dividing the tourist destination into different zones based on their characteristics such as cultural, natural, recreational or commercial areas. Zoning helps manage visitor flows and control the access to sensitive areas. That means we would now know that this is a particular zone and when we need to access, how we need to access. Also the site design, carefully designing the physical layout of the destination to enhance visitor experience, ensure safety and minimize conflicts. The signage and information systems. The clear signage and information systems also help in providing the well placed, visible and informative signage throughout the destination will help to guide the visitors, highlight points of interest and ensure their smooth navigation throughout the destinations. Also the signage should be multilingual, that means it's not possible that it should only be in one language and the visitors, the locals or the other visitors fail to understand it. So it should be in multi-language and designed with consideration of cultural sensitivity also. The information system should implement user-friendly information systems such as visitor centers, kiosks and mobile applications to provide up-to-date information on attractions, services, events, safety measures and environmental guidelines. Next is infrastructural developments. Visitor facilities, like developing appropriate visitor facilities such as restrooms, picnic areas, parking lots, seating areas also helps to cater visitors' needs and enhance their comfort and convenience. The accessibility includes those facilities which can even talk about having the facilities for disabled people through the provision of ramps, wheelchair, accessible pathways and other inclusive designs. Also, the sustainable infrastructure talks about incorporating sustainable design principles and practices into infrastructural developments. This design includes energy efficient or eco-friendly models of designs such as waste management systems, water conservation measures and the use of eco-friendly materials. This is also very important, how to manage the traffic and transportation management. The traffic flow analysis helps to identify the congestion points, the bottlenecks and the areas of concerns. This analysis helps to implement measures to optimize the traffic movement, reduce congestions and enhance the tourist safety. Also, the sustainable transportation encourages the use of sustainable transportation options such as public transports, cycling paths, or also helps to minimize the reliance on private vehicles and reduce the carbon emissions. The park and ride facilities helps in convenient locations outside the destination to reduce the traffic congestion within the particular tourist area. The natural and cultural resource protection. The environmental conservation helps into planning and infrastructural development to protect the natural resource, minimize habitat disturbance and preserve biodiversity. Also, the cultural heritage preservation ensures that infrastructural development respects and preserves the cultural heritage of a particular destination, includes the historic buildings, archaeological sites, and traditional communities. Adaptive reuse and restoration of heritage structures will definitely help to enhance the visitor experience. Now, this is very important because without education and interpretation, nothing is possible and no strategies can be developed without it. So, visitor education and interpretation are very vital elements of effective management strategies. By providing informative and engaging experiences, destination can enhance the visitor understandings, foster the appreciation for the destination natural and cultural assets, and promote a very responsible tourist behavior. What are some of the key aspects of visitor education and interpretation? So, there should be certain interpretive programs and exhibitions which should be available for the visitor to understand the cultural responsibility and also the sustainable responsibility as a tourist. There should be a proper environmental and cultural awareness programs being run by the locals and even by the government or some NGOs, even to educate the tourists in terms of cultural and environmental awareness. There should be education or awareness about the sustainable tourism practices. That means everybody should be informed about the green practices and they should be told to get certain changes done in their behaviors, and they should all become responsible and green consumers. The multi-language and accessible information should be available for all the tourists so that there is an ease of understanding the instructions. Also, there should be partnership and collaborations between the NGOs, the local partners, the governments, and the non-government partnership also. Okay, so now we are going to discuss a very important aspect, that is how do we manage the visitor flows. Managing visitor flow is very crucial aspect of a visitor management strategy, and by effective controlling the movement and distribution will definitely enhance a visitor experience. I mean, nobody would like to visit a place which is very crowded or which will have a very chaotic atmosphere, because nobody would be able to enjoy. So, a pre-hand or a pre-thought visitor mechanisms or strategies of managing the visitor movements at a particular destination will definitely enhance the experience of a visitor. So, there are certain key aspects of how we can have a control on visitor flows. So, we can first and foremost we can do a carrying capacity analysis. For every destination there should be a carrying capacity defined, that for a particular destination this should be the carrying capacity at a particular point of time. Also, there should be a proper visitor monitoring and forecasting. We should beforehand only we should be able to know that okay, now the season is arriving, so we will have so much of influx of tourists and so many tourists will be increasing in number. So, accordingly we can take certain remedial or precautionary measures. Also, there should be time and space management. At what time the destination should be visited. If there are any historical sites or any monumental sites, there should be a proper visiting time, a opening and a closing time. Also, we should know a space management, that how many people at what space they can be surrounded to and how much people can be visit at one particular point of time. There should be also proper visitor communication and engagements. Any data, any information that is for the visitor should be communicated well and should be very much transparent in nature, so that there is no confusion or no chaos created at the destination for a visitor. Also, there should be a collaboration for a stakeholder and engagements in terms of NGOs, private, non-private, government, funds, everybody should be coming together and they should be collaborated for managing the visitors flow. So, now I would like to summarize our discussion. Today we had discussed about the visitor management strategies that are very crucial for sustainable tourism. It enhances the visitor experiences and protect the destination assets. It is important because it ensures long-term viability and appeal of a destination, and the attraction of the destination will be maintained. Also, the important components of developing strategies can be the carrying capacity considerations, sustainable practices, visitor behavior, planning and infrastructure, education and interpretation, managing visitors flow. The objective of such strategies is to minimize the negative impacts and to optimize experience, promote responsibility, conserve resources, engage communities and ensure sustainability. and we need for this can only be achieved if we are able to collaborate with stakeholders, engagements with communities, government, operators, and nevertheless the visitors themselves. So with this I conclude my session, and I hope it was a learning session for you all. Thank you so much and have a very nice day.